Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to see traditional data processing methods in context with data science. In this video, we are going to reveal the techniques that we use while working with traditional data. However, in the upcoming videos, we shall be covering concepts like business intelligence, big data and machine learning in context of data science and data analytics. Once we discuss them, we will provide examples of where these disciplines can be used in real life. Entering the field of data science means you will encounter these terms while working with data. Often, it is essential that you are able to relate with each of them. So, this video will be dedicated to learn the approaches and techniques specific to working with traditional data in context with data science. Data is a very broad term that can refer to raw facts, processed data, and information. To make sure that we are on the same page and to better understand the different techniques that are applied to a data set, we shall be separating all these phrases and have a look on the following diagram. People gather data or raw facts that must be processed to obtain meaningful information. Raw data, also called raw facts or primary data, is data which cannot be analyzed straight away. It is untouched data that you have accumulated and stored on the servers. The gathering of raw facts is referred to as data collection. This is the first step. Data can be collected in several ways. Data collection is a systematic approach to gather relevant information from a variety of sources. Depending on the problem statement, data collection methods are broadly classified into two categories, the primary data and the next is secondary data. Talking about primary data, when you have a unique problem and no research is done on that subject, then you need to collect new data. This method is known as primary data collection. For example, you want information on average time that employees spend on cafeteria across companies. There is no public data available for this, but you can collect data from various methods such as surveys, interviews from employees, and by monitoring the time they spend in the cafeteria. This method is time consuming. The second is secondary data. Another method is to use the data which is readily available or collected by someone else. This can be found on open source websites such as Kaggle, Gapminder, news articles, government census, magazines, and so on. This method is called secondary data collection. It is less time consuming than primary data collection methods. Let us understand it with the help of few examples. One method could be surveys on asking people on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like our product? Alternatively, data gathering could also be automatic. Cookies are common examples for this. They provide companies with the detailed information about a user's activity on a website. This data can have various problems with it. Before it is of any use, it must be processed. Now let us look at how processing steps takes place and can turn raw data into useful and meaningful information. First thing to do after gathering enough raw data is what is called data pre-processing. This is a group of operations that will basically convert your raw data into a format that is more understandable and hence useful for further processing. So, what data processing aims to do exactly? It attempts to fix the problem that can inevitably occur with data gathering. A problem, for example, within some customer data that has been generated is you may have a person registered as 932 years old. or USA as the name of a person. Obviously, these data entries are incorrect. Before proceeding with any type of analysis, such data must be marked as invalid or corrected. This is known as data preprocessing. So let us delve into specific techniques that are applied while preprocessing raw data. One technique is class labeling. This involves labeling the data points to correct data type or arranging data by category. One such category is numerical. For example, if you are storing the number of goods sold daily, then you are keeping a track of numerical values. These are numbers which can be manipulated, such as average number of goods sold per day or per month. The other label is categorical. Here you are dealing with information that cannot have mathematical manipulation. For example, a person's profession or place of birth, as this just provide information about them which is not mathematical to be manipulated. Another technique that you need to be familiar with is data cleansing, data cleaning, or data scrubbing. The goal of data cleansing is to deal with inconsistent data. This can come in various forms such as spell checking and so on. Missing value is another thing you have to deal with. Not all customer will give you the data you are asking for. Now, what should you do in that case? Should the customer's entire record be disregarded? Or perhaps you should just enter the average age of the remaining customers. Data cleansing and dealing with missing values are problems that must be solved before you can process the data further. Now let us move on to some case-specific approaches used for working with traditional data. First one being balancing. Imagine you conducted a survey to gather the data on the shopping habits of men and women. You want to ascertain who spends more money during the weekend. However, when you have your data, you notice that 80% of the respondents were female and only 20% were male. The trend you may notice are not going to be towards men as much as they are to women. To counteract to this problem, applying balancing technique would be the best thing to do, such as taking an equal number of respondents from each group, so that the ratio now turns out to be 50-50, making this survey having collecting fair data without having any bias towards male or female respondents. Another common approach is data shuffling. Shuffling the observation from your dataset is just like shuffling a deck of cards. It will ensure that your dataset is free from unwanted patterns caused by problematic data collection. Data shuffling is a technique which improves predictive performance and help avoiding misleading results. In a nutshell, shuffling is a way to randomize your data so that you can have fair input. Provide a couple of examples of traditional data. Think of a basic customer data. This is a table that contains text information about your customers. We are going to use it to give a clear example of the difference between numerical and categorical data. Notice the first column. It shows the ID assigned to your different customers. These numbers, however, cannot be manipulated. Calculating an average ID is not something that would give you any sort of useful information. This means that even though they are numbers, they hold no numeric value and therefore represent categorical data. Now focus on the last column. This shows how many times a customer have filed a complaint. This number are easily manipulated. Adding them all together give you a total number of complaints and it is a useful information. Therefore, we consider it as a numerical data. Let us look at another example which will clear the difference between numerical and categorical data. Let's look at the daily historical
Stock price data. In this data set, you can see here that there is a column containing dates of observations, which is considered as a categorical data, and a column containing stock prices, which is clearly numerical data. So that was all with this video. I hope that all the concepts will now be clear. In the upcoming video, we will discuss the concepts and applications of big data, business intelligence, and machine learning in accordance with data science. So stay tuned and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.